Hello. Alright, so that was Wally Schnalle playing drums. This is Bill Morehouse. I've been excited about making this episode where basically going to talk about experiences with Wally as an instructor, and I actually have some footage from inside the lesson with Wally that I'm going to share and analyze a little bit. Before I do that, I wanted to say thanks to everyone who watched the Twilight Zone drum cover and vocal cover videos. I really appreciate the positive feedback. The vocals were kind of a late addition. I was just singing the song as I was working on the drum stuff, and I thought, I think I could sing this. So I have a question. I got some feedback where people were saying, it was cool to see a video with vocals and drums. So I'm wondering whether, what are your thoughts? Would it be better if I just, stick with drumming in future videos, or is it a nice change of pace, a little different flavor to have vocals as well? So I'd like to get some feedback in the comments on that. So let's talk about what we're going to do in this video. I don't plan to get into specific technical topics like grip or, timing, things like that. I think there's a lot of people in this community that are, frankly, more technically proficient than I am and better equipped to explain those concepts. What I do plan to speak about are just some of those key moments where you gain insight that you didn't have before, and some of the higher level takeaways, just thoughts that are provoked during the process of instruction. Okay, without further ado, let's dive into it. We'll go inside the lesson with me and with Wally Schnalle and see what we find. Thanks for watching.
Which, by the way, swinging 16th notes is not a bad thing. It just has to be an on-purpose thing. Right?
Yes,
there's a lot of like hip-hop, jazz, funk, whatever drummers. There's a lot of
it's like hard to unswing, because all you do is swing.
And there's a lot of these like slow funk moves now that's kind of in vogue to have not really completely swung, but kinda, and they kind of play with that space. Anyway.
So I think that's a good conversation about swinging, but the reason I included it in there was actually it does a good job of illustrating a larger point. For me, the more you know, the more you learn how much stuff you don't know. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And, this is one of those times where it just opens up. I mean, people are, it's cool for people to be half swinging. I don't even know if I would notice if somebody was half swinging something. But, it just immediately opens up this whole area of inquiry where you're like, you realize how far you have to go. I have a couple other questions. One of them is about the tap. So with the taps, I guess if I'm trying to play quietly, right, I could do it with my wrists like this, and I have pretty good control.
Right.
Or on this hand, I could kind of release with my fingers.
Yeah, and your wrist is moving as well.
Alright, so I recognize there's a lot of different learning styles. Not everyone takes in information the same way, but the thoughts that were triggered when I started watching this were, it's really helpful to take notes. So I take a lot of notes during lessons. I mean, I don't know what your experience is like, but whenever I'm in a lesson, I feel like I'm trying to play back the stuff I was supposed to learn, and while I'm doing that, the person's like, maybe a little more like this. Why don't you try it like this? I mean, there's just a lot going on, and it's really hard to absorb everything you're being told. I like the opportunity to review notes at my leisure later. And I mean, what's going on in this video is partly I'm coming back with a set of more detailed questions that I had last time. Sometimes I'll get 10 minutes into practicing this stuff before I realize, the whole point of the exercise is to listen to the sound. Yeah. Because I'm so. But
technique for technique's sake, it's not really what we're going for. Technique for sound's sake.
I can't disagree with that point. I think he's making an excellent point there. But part of the reason I included that was just, I don't know if this happens to other people, but I will be, doing rudiments or some kind of repetitive drum set thing, and I'll just start, thinking about work or thinking about something that's bothering me, and then the next thing you know, I've been practicing the same thing for 10, 15 minutes, just staring at the wall, and I'm like, okay, let's get it back on track. So I don't know what that's all about.
That's it. What's why you throw a regular pair note in there?
just to see if you're paying attention.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like I hate, like in a big band chart, they'll have like figures for 3 measures, and then it'll say play 5 more. And I'm like, I'm not thinking in 5s.
So as I was watching that, I was thinking it's probably a good opportunity to talk a bit about what's the game plan for the channel. You know, really the only guidelines I have are, number one, I'm trying to focus more on producing content itself than on any kind of meta formats, like where you're talking about other videos, that sort of thing. Nothing wrong with those formats, just not what I'm interested in. Number 2, I would like over time to have more weight given towards original content, so stuff that I've created myself or that created in collaboration with other people. And then the last thing that's kind of a guideline is I have to be excited about something and feel like it's the best I can do if I'm gonna put it out on YouTube for a lot of people to see. And I definitely make stuff that, upon reflection, the world does not need to see. So that's all I got to say for today. Really appreciate everybody checking this out. If you can, leave some stuff in the comments about the future formats, whether to do the vocals or not, that'd be great. And yeah, check out Wally's stuff. Thanks, and I'll see you all. See you on the scene.